Your stinginess
will destroy everything.
The stingy billionaire who died poor. My people, listen well, for this is a story you will never forget. There was a man, Okafor, a 55-year-old Igbo man, taller than most men in the village, with dark, glossy skin and sharp eyes that missed nothing. His shoulders were broad, but his chest hollow from hunger. His face, though handsome, carried a sad line between the eyebrows, a line carved by years of secret greed. This man was a billionaire, yet he lived like a beggar. His home was simple mud bricks, his roof patched with rusting sheets. He had uncountable wealth buried under the earth, coins, notes, jewels, but he never spent a kobo on himself, his family, or even the people who begged him. His wife, Ngozi, was a woman of rare beauty, with smooth light brown skin, deep gentle eyes, and a smile that could warm any heart. She loved her husband, not knowing that beside her slept the richest man in the region. Every morning she would plead, "Okafor, the children have not eaten. Please, just a little money for food." And he would respond cold and unmoved, "Ngozi, my pocket is empty. We must manage today and hope tomorrow is better." But tomorrow never came. His 5 children, Chukwadi, Amara, Obina, Ifunanya, and little Somto, grew up with hunger in their stomachs, rags on their backs, and shame in their hearts. Their classmates mocked them mercilessly. Look at Okafor's children, so poor, so dirty, they would laugh. Okafor only smiled quietly. He carried the secret of hidden billions in clay pots beneath the ground, in dark holes no one would ever imagine. But he refused to use it, refusing even to help himself. If you are shocked by Okafor's stinginess, smash that like button and comment below what you would do if you had hidden billions. One hot afternoon, the village gathered for a burial. Everyone arrived in fine clothes and shining shoes. Ngozi and the children arrived in worn-torn garments. The laughter and whispers followed them like shadows. See Okafor's family. Poverty has eaten them alive. Okafor did not defend them. He watched silently, a small bitter smile hiding in the corner of his lips. Deep in his heart, he whispered, "If they knew what I have buried, they would kneel before me. If they knew, they would never mock me." But he never revealed his wealth. Comment your thoughts. Should love or forgive a father who refuses to feed his children? One night, Ngozi fell gravely ill. Her body burned like fire. She lay weak on a thin bamboo bed. The children cried around her, shaking her frail arms. "Papa, Mama is dying. Please, take her to the hospital." Amara screamed. Okafor sat silently, touching his chin, thinking of the hidden wealth beneath the soil. He whispered to himself, "If only I could spend, but I cannot. Let her pray to the gods." Ngozi looked at him with fading eyes. "Okafor, I married you with hope, but hunger kills me, and your silence kills the children." Tears rolled down his cheeks, but his hands never reached the buried treasure. Ngozi died that night. The village pitied the family, not knowing that the man crying beside the corpse was richer than any king in the land. Subscribe now to see what happens to the children after their mother's death. You won't believe what comes next. The children grew older, but hunger and poverty never left them. Chukwadi, now 12, had sharp eyes like his father, but his body was thin, his clothes tattered. He could not go to school because Okafor refused to spend money, even though he had billions buried under the earth. One day, Chukwadi approached his father again. "Papa, I hear the teachers talking about scholarships. If I can pass the exams, maybe I can go to school for free. Please help me with books and fees for the exams." Okafor looked at him with cold, calculating eyes. "My son, we have no money. Books do not fill stomachs. Hunger comes first, education later." Chukwadi left feeling as though the world had abandoned him. Meanwhile, the village whispered, "Okafor is a mystery. He is poor, yet some say he hides gold. Who knows?" The children suffered, their talents buried along with their mother. Their laughter was rare, replaced by hunger cries and silent tears. If you have ever seen someone suffer because of a parent's selfishness, comment below and share this story with friends. Let's warn the world about greed. As the years passed, whispers of Okafor's wealth grew. Some villagers even claimed to see strange lights near his compound at night. Some said ancestral spirits warned him to spend, but he ignored all signs. One night, Okafor dreamt. In his dream, a shadowy figure stood before him. Okafor, you hold the world in your hands, but feed only hunger. One day, what you bury will bury you. He woke a strike, but instead of following the warning, he muttered to himself, I cannot waste, I cannot spend. Let the world starve, I will not touch what is mine. His children watched him quietly. They did not understand, yet they felt fear. Ngozi's spirit sometimes whispered in the wind, Okafor, your wealth will be your doom. Your stinginess will destroy you and your family. Okafor remarried after Ngozi's death, hoping perhaps the next wife would tolerate his ways. Her name was Ijeoma, 30 years old, fair-skinned, with hair black as midnight and eyes that shone like rivers under moonlight. She had grace, beauty, and a kind heart, but she could not endure a husband who refused to feed her or her children. Months passed. Ijeoma's stomach rumbled with hunger. Her children cried. She approached Okafor. Husband, the children are weak. Must we starve while there is wealth buried in our yard? Okafor sighed, his voice low. I do not have money. You and the children must wait, as I wait for nothing. Ijeoma's patience broke. One dawn, she left quietly, taking the children with her. She whispered to them, one day you will understand. This man hides treasures while he lets us suffer. Okafor stood at the door, watching her leave, unmoved. Deep inside, a tiny pang of regret stirred, but it quickly died. Comment below if you think Okafor deserved to be left behind. Hit like if you feel sorry for Ijeoma. Years passed, and Okafor's stinginess continued to wreak havoc on his family. Some of his children became weak from hunger and disease. Obinna, only 8 years old, fell gravely ill. The village healer said he needed medicine and proper food, but Okafor refused. Father, Obinna is dying. Please help him. Amara cried. I do not have money, Okafor whispered, even though his hands itched to dig the treasure hidden under the earth. Obinna's eyes grew dim, and the boy passed quietly. The family mourned, but Okafor's heart remained tightly closed. The village shook their heads in sorrow. That man has billions, yet his children die like stray dogs. Okafor buried more wealth underground over the years. Coins, banknotes, jewels, all untouched, hidden for safety. Or so he thought. He sometimes whispered to himself, one day the world will see. One day my children will know my greatness, but not today. Yet each night, he dreamed of spirits scolding him. You bury your treasure, but your treasure buries your soul. Okafor grew older. His back bent, his eyes dimmed, but his heart remained stubborn. He refused help, refused to spend, refused to feed himself or his remaining children. His house fell apart, the roof leaked, and rats ate the food. He still slept near treasure worth more than all the village combined. Subscribe now to see the shocking way the story ends. You won't believe what comes next. One night, a storm raged, lightning split the sky, and a voice boomed in his dreams. Okafor, your time is near. Your stinginess will cost you all. Okafor woke, trembling. He whispered to himself, I cannot spend, I cannot share. Let the world starve, I will not waste. The ancestral spirits circled his home in the storm, warning him again and again. But he slept, cold and unfeeling, clutching nothing but empty hands. Okafor finally died quietly in his home, alone. His body was discovered by the village children. The treasure remained buried under the ground, untouched, waiting silently. His remaining children, Chukwadi, Amara, Ifunanya, and Little Somto, cried, but they also feared their father's stubbornness. They had lived in poverty all their lives, while billions lay beneath them. Hit the like button if you feel sorry for the children. Subscribe to see how their lives change forever. 2 years later, Somto, now only 2 years old, was playing near the yard. He dug into the soft earth, laughing, unaware of the hidden fortune. His tiny hands uncovered uncountable coins and notes buried for decades. The family stared in shock. Amaris whispered, "Father, he left us billions, and we suffered for nothing." Somto clapped his little hands, oblivious to the value, while the family wept tears of joy and sorrow. The children carefully counted the treasure. They became the richest people in the village overnight. The houses they had dreamed of were built. The education they had been denied was finally paid for. Chukwadi went to school. Amara traveled to learn business. Ifunana studied medicine. The youngest, Somto, was still too small, but would grow up knowing the value of wealth and wisdom. Comment below what you would do if you suddenly inherited billions.